Hi everyone, Skye here with Sketch with Skye, and thanks for joining me tonight. I hope everyone is having a great day. It was the first day of school in our school district this today, so my daughter has officially a seventh grader, so that is a big doings at our house today. So I'm looking forward to the sketch that we're working on tonight. If you guys are scrapping along, that's great. We're going to be doing sketch page 52 in the 101 Scrapbooking Sketches and Idea book. And I'm going to go ahead and switch the camera down to my worktop. We'll talk a little bit about the product I chose for this sketch and the photos that I'm doing and the adjustments that I'm going to make and some of the ideas that I have. Hi, Rosemary. Thanks for joining again this week. All right, I'm going to go ahead and switch the camera. Bear with me for just a moment while I do that. Okay, here we are. So for tonight's sketch, it is 3 to 4 photos. This area here can be used for a title, journaling, or you could add another photo there. Or in the case of what I'm doing, I'm going to modify that space a little bit and I'm going to try to do some journaling and a photo. We'll see how it fits on the page. I My challenge with my photos is that I have 3 verticals, but I have 1 horizontal that I want to try to fit on here. And I kind of need the entire width of that 6-inch horizontal. So I'm going to try to put these photos a little bit closer together and modify it a bit so that it all fits on there. We'll see how it works. I'm actually going to be using the same collection that's used here. I'm not going to be using the exact same color scheme and prints that they used. But I am going to be using, this is from the silver and gold collection from 2022, going back 2 years now. But it's a really beautiful collection, and I think you'll see why I chose that as soon as we talk a little bit about my photos, particularly the use of this image of the sun. And here, this is one of my very favorite border punches. It was featured on a recent Sizzling Summer sketch, and I just love that. I used it on that, and I've just had a lot of fun with this border punch over the years, and so um, we may or may not use that tonight. We're going to kind of play around with some other things and see how it goes. I think either way, it'll look great. Okay, so I am using the silver and gold. I've got the stickers. The silver and gold stickers were just 3 sets of border stickers. So there's a ton of border stickers in here. I'm going to be using that sun. A lot of this collection had a very Art Deco feel, which I also really love. So that makes it double uh, is good to me. I love the Art Deco look. I'm going to be using possibly some of the mats. I pulled some of the ones out that I thought would match with what I'm going to be doing. We'll see if I can incorporate those into the page. The paper that I'm using for silver and gold, I'm going to be using the, on the bottom, of course, this sort of black confetti, black and gold confetti looking one as the base. And then I've pulled some shimmer papers, gold and black. And then I have some scraps here of some of the other papers in the collection to use as accents. So I'm going to set those aside because it'll really depend on what we end up doing with that side border, if whether or not I use those. So the photos we're going to be scrapping today, if you can see that, this is from the total eclipse that we had this April. So in last April? Yes, this April. It was just this past April. It's time flies. So the photos, I was at work that day, so I was on the campus of the University of Arizona, and a bunch of people kind of gathered on the mall on campus and to observe it. It was awesome. The Science Center was there with the proper glasses, and this picture here is of the shadows. So this is something that I learned. I hadn't been through a total eclipse in my recollection, and this photo is of the leaves, the shadow that the leaves of a tree cast, and their crescent moon. I'll see if I can lift this up here so you can kind of see um, how that looks, but it's the leaf, oops, kind of got a bit of glare. The leaves make moon shapes in the offset. So that was super cool. Art Deco in Rosemary's house. That's awesome. Did you get gold and silver? Because you, if that's your style, you would totally um, love, love that collection. It really worked great. And I thought it was super versatile. So anyhow, let's talk a little bit about some of the tools and supplies that we'll be using. I always keep the silicone mat out for when I'm using the repositional tape runner. Speaking of, there's the repo and the regular tape runners. I've got my multi-purpose tool. I pulled out the lifter stick. If you haven't used this, I can't recommend it enough. And it is such a perfect companion to this Rainbow Arches border punch, because the little pieces, if you do if you use the fill-in method, this lifter stick works great to place those in the outline of the empty spaces of this punch. So I can't recommend this lifter stick enough. My fine tip scissors, which guess what, guys? These fine tip scissors were part of the trimmer bundles, and they've sold out. And they're going to be back not until December. So I think they were a little bit surprised at how popular those scissor bundles were. And that's crazy. So I have a few in stock, but they won't be back in stock online until December. I got my pen out. I noticed I don't talk a lot about journaling, so I just wanted to get my pen out and remind everyone that we always do at least a little bit of journaling on our pages. And I have a technique with my journaling. I've done it ever since I started scrapbooking, because I don't trust myself to not make a lot of mistakes in ink. I write everything down in pencil first, and then I erase it. So I'm always careful to use a good quality pencil, but even more important is a good quality eraser. And I love these polymer white erasers for this. They get all of the lead off the page perfectly without distressing the page. And these are just the best erasers out there, I think, for what I use it for in scrapbooking, which is erasing my pencil lines, of which there are many. I got the circle punch out, as well as this fireworks punch, thinking of it as a sun as opposed to fireworks, or a sort of bit of a sunburst. This is kind of my plan A/B with the in lieu of the rainbow border punch. So we'll see how that kind of works. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I say it a lot. These sketches make for some really quick and easy pages. They're pretty basic sketches, and you can have as much artistic license and make them as complex and layered as you'd like, or you can make them super simple. So this is just a one-page layout. I'm going to be putting 4 photos on it. The base page is really simple. It's just a base. There's no welding or frame technique with this one. Just going to use the whole sheet as the base. And then I'm going to be using my silver and gold as my layers, or excuse me, my gold and black as my layers for this sort of framing technique that we've got there. So this sheet here is 10.5 by 11.25. So that is this on the sketch, it's the black layer on the bottom. I'm going to be making that with gold rather than black. So let's see here. I'm just going to unstack my a little bit. So while I do this, I'll talk about a couple of other things. The sketch number 5 of the Sizzling Summer Sketch Challenge came out this afternoon. So if you subscribe to the Creative Memories blog, you should have that sketch in your email. So I'll try to work on that possibly later tonight or certainly by the weekend. And so this is 10.5 by 11.25. So I'm just trimming this down. And then the black is going to be my mats. So I just have 3 mats that I'm going to cut 4 by 5. And then that last mat is going to be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to cut this at 4 by 10. I'm going to cut another one, excuse me, 4 by 12, and I'm going to cut another one of those. Just going to line these up like this and cut it at the 5-inch mark. I'm stacking just to save a little bit of time. So now I have 2, and then I'm going to save one of them, set that aside, and cut this 3rd one. Just gonna look at my photo here real quick. I think I probably can take a little bit off this side. I think I can trim this down to probably 5.5 inches. I don't usually use this trimmer for photos, but it was just what I happen to have here. So I'm gonna and I'm gonna take 1/4 off the bottom there too. I wanted to include this photo because it's really the only one that shows the crowd on the mall there for the event, so to speak. So now I'm going to cut this at 5 3/4 since my photo is 5.5 inches wide. So that's going to be that. Okay. All right, so I've got all my photo mats. Now this border is really where we have some options. I'm going to go ahead and adhere these photos down on their mats because I want to kind of put them in place while we review our options with the border. Just when you're in a rush, right? You make mistakes. Goof up a little bit. All right, so this one, this building here that's in the corner doesn't necessarily look like a building, but it is. It's the building that I work in. It's the tree ring lab at the university. So I wanted to keep that corner of that in there. So I think I'll put these photos on here, something like a little bit closer than they were in the mat so that I can get this other guy on here. So now, this is where the border should go. So I have a few options. I could actually offset this so that that border is a little bit more like that. And what I did was I made some eclipse art. So there's the sun as it starts to lose more and more. And I made more than I really have room for, so I would definitely, I either should overlap these maybe, something like that. Also a little worried that they're getting lost on the gold, but sure about that. It'd make more sense to do those across the top. This is just kind of my idea as I was thinking about the page. I feel like that probably needs to be organized a little bit differently. It isn't super coherent, and there's probably too many, so I would maybe throw out. So that gives me about the right number of them. I feel like I need a contrast here on the side, which would potentially be that sun border sticker going down the side. Uh, I'm here all night too, Rosemary. I feel like I need just a little bit more space here. And try to figure out how to get this, arrange these photos so that they're a little, so that it works. They can overlap. And maybe I should turn these this way. Give it enough contrast. I'm just playing, could you mount them on something? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too, Rosemary, is maybe they need to be mounted, although that definitely looks a little bit better. I wonder, sticker. This is the strip. Well, and you know, it almost makes me wonder if I should trim down this mat, this base by, I want to say, it's an inch, about 3/4 of an inch, and then put the sticker strip as the border, and then this one's. The other thing is that I could make these circles a little bit smaller. I want to show you the technique that I used. Could you swap the two on the bottom? What do you mean swap? Which way? Swap like this? And then overlap these here. That's a possibility. I'll show this technique real quick that I used to make these. So this is just the circle punch. I created circles in both the gold and black. And what I did was I just took some of the gold circles and I reinserted them back into the punch itself, flipping it upside down so that I could see the bottom. And then kind of aligning it with the amount that I wanted cut out. And it took a little bit of playing. I have a stack of them that didn't turn out the right size for my mind. And then you just punch. And then you get this football shape, but then you also get a crescent moon that works perfectly for these moon guys. And then you just mount it on. So that's was kind of a fun little thing to play with a little bit. Making these. And you could use that as any kind of moon outside of the outside of an eclipse, of course, any moonlight. There you go, you've got yourself a moon. And I'm sure people could think of all sorts of fun things to do with that. Okay, so that's how I made these little moon circles. I think what I'm gonna do is, I'm really winging it tonight, guys. So this is an active discovery for all of us. I'm gonna trim this down by 3/4 of an inch. So I'm gonna take 3/4 of an inch off of that. And so that means this piece for me is now 9 3/4. So I'm going to center this kind of to the left-hand side. And I'm going to put it down with repositional. Normally, when I put my layers in place, I use regular tape runner because it's nice and strong. But because I'm still, you know, kind of doing some experimentation here with this one, I'm going to go ahead and do the repo, and then I'm just going to set this down here kind of gently to see. Just to contrast is good. I just feel like these circles are too big. This one I may edge there, and I could probably put this the sticker strip over the top of that. That I think is it's okay, and if I lose a little bit of it, it's not that big of a deal. I don't think that looks too bad. I think what I'm gonna do is make smaller circles with these. I won't keep you on while I do that. I'm just gonna actually probably use my custom cutting system, smallest. So this guy is just a little bit smaller than that. So I probably, what I would do, I'll do one while I've got everybody here, and so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm gonna cut, I think I'll probably use the green blade. That'll give me a good size circle. Sure, my feet are in place, and of course I didn't put that down properly. I'm trying to cut it out of the strip to maximize my scraps, and does not want to stay in place. Okay, so bigger piece here. Okay. one might be too small. I think I can still use my good grief. I think I've never used this before, guys. This might be too small. Probably, I don't know. I could get more of them and do more shapes. So that's what I'll either use the green or the red blade on that. And I'll do the same thing just by sticking this in here and taking a little notch out of it to make my little partial moons. Okay. So let's, I'll do this bit off camera, guys, and we'll see how that turns out. Let's take a look at this little bit here where I think I'm going to try to do some journaling down here. I've got my mats that I pulled out from here. I think the back side of this has a nice little, and it also happens to be almost the same length. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Let's see. Smaller circles would look better. Do you think that this one is too small, Rosemary? Do you think I need to make it just a little bit bigger, or that size would be good? Asking your opinion there on that one. All right, let's adhere some of this stuff down. Go ahead and I think I'm gonna place that out there. What happened to my other picture, guys? There it is. It's on the bottom of the printer. So it was really interesting participating in this. Should have the gold side away from the. Okay, gotcha. Participating in this kind of watch party that we had for the eclipse, because I work in a lab at the University of Arizona that's part of the College of Science. I don't have a science background, I think, as most of you know. I have a scrapbooking background. But it was really fun to participate in that with these really sciencey people who were just so informed and interested, and it was just a really great group of people. It's a great group of people to work with in general, but it was a really great group of people to do this with. Just a totally new experience for me, outside of seeing the eclipse, but kind of participating with a group of folks that really are into this kind of thing and very knowledgeable about the journal like this. I think you were saying, right? It's so true. It's great. Go ahead and um, I think your opinion is correct on this one. It just adds a little bit of interest to the side there. And then this, I need my scissors because we're going to cut this guy off. Sweet. All right, so I'm going to just finish up this side edge. I'll take some pictures and post it with this, finish up my journaling. I'm probably going to do some little embellishment clusters, maybe one down here and one over here somewhere, to kind of give it a little bit of movement across the page. But that is basically it for the sketch for this evening. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'm going to switch over to my live camera. Hold on 1 second here. All right, I'm back. Thanks again for joining me this evening. I have a couple of notes about some upcoming things. So as I mentioned, the new Sizzlin' Summer sketch that's part of that sketch challenge came out this afternoon. Check your email for that. We're on week 6 already of that challenge. So there's a total of 9. So we're getting through them really nicely. That sketch will be due, if you want to be in for the prize drawing, that sketch will be due on next Tuesday at, I think it's midnight Central Time. Thursday, which is tomorrow, Croptoberfest reveal, guys. We are so super excited. All of the Croptoberfest products will be announced, and we'll get a sneak preview of them. Which means I think they'll be available for purchase on Friday. So, or excuse me, on Monday. So stay tuned, watch my channel for all of the updates. You'll get a good look at everything that we've got available for Croptoberfest, and it's going to include some details on customer collections and packages and bundles that you can get, and the theme and colors and all of that good stuff. So that's going to be super exciting. The virtual crop is Friday, so 3 o'clock my time in Arizona is when those sketches drop. And I'm going to be doing a virtual crop scrap along this Saturday from 10 to 1 my time. That's via Zoom. If you want the link, just email me or message me on Facebook and I will get you the link to join. It's free Zoom, and we're just going to create the virtual crop sketches. You can work on whatever you like, but that's what I'm going to be working on, and I'll be offering some tips and tricks on those. So I hope to see you on Saturday, and stay tuned for the reveal tomorrow for Croptoberfest. We're so excited. All right, guys, thanks again for joining, and I will be seeing you soon. And the next Sketch with Skye Live is next Wednesday, the 14th. All right, see you then. Bye, guys.